Hi everybody, my name is Debbie and I'm with pedigreedpups.com, and today I want to take some time to share some information with you about just one dog that's a member of the AKC Hound dog group, and that's the Basset Hound. Now the Basset Hound, like I said before, is a member of the AKC Hound dog group, and the foremost use of the Basset Hound in the United States is for the hunting of rabbits. Now that's probably second only to the fact that they're very good companion dogs. But anyway, these dogs originally were bred to be hunters. Now pack hunting with Bassets as a sport continues on today in both France and England, and these dogs are excellent hunters and very good hunting dogs and great hunting companions. And one thing to be forewarned about, those Bassets are notoriously difficult to housebreak, and it's also really true that these dogs love food. So if you think about this, it's also true. One other thing you might think of just by looking at them, that these dogs are less physically energetic than many breeds. Now this may be the case with some Bassets. They do love their food. They may not love their exercise so much, but they can be active individuals, but sometimes you may just have to encourage them along with it just a little bit. Now these dogs, do enjoy exercise as long as it gives them the chance to use their natural, endurance and their natural abilities. These dogs, can enjoy going on long walks or taking them on hiking trips. But just remember, whenever you do take them on these kind of outings, to always keep them on a leash when you're outdoors, unless you're in a securely fenced-in yard, because they just might take off on a scent or after something, and you may, just kind of lose track of them. So just be very aware of where your dog is at all times. Now the Basset Hound is a very laid-back, sociable animal, and these dogs make great dogs for children and adults of all ages. Now these dogs are considered to be a wet mouth breed, which means they do drool a good bit, so you just want to make sure that you're aware of this. So if you have a Basset Hound, you just want to make sure you have a slobber rag around, just to help you out if you need it. Now Bassets are also considered to be pack animals, and they make excellent pet choices for people with children or that already have other pets. However, they don't do very good by themselves if they're left alone for long periods of time. Now these dogs are known for the fact that they have a very deep and a very melodious and musical bark. Now these dogs have very short legs. They're much heavier in bone than many dogs for their size. In fact, these dogs are heavier in bone size considered than any other breed of dog, and while their movement is very deliberate, they're not usually considered clumsy. Now Basset Hounds are usually short dogs, but they're not small. These dogs can easily weigh in at 50 to 70 pounds. Now their smooth, short-haired coat is very easy to groom. If you just comb them and wipe them out, just brush them off with a firm bristle brush, shampoo these dogs only when needed, and they're just very easy to keep maintenance-wise. The one thing you do need to consider is you have to clean their droopy ears every week and clean their toenails pretty regularly. Now this breed is also a constant shedder, but it's not hard to keep it under control as long as you frequently groom your dog and just keep it up with its regular brushings. Now one thing to consider also, these dogs are scent hounds, which means they were bred to hunt by scent alone. Now in trailing ability, the accuracy of this dog is second to none other than the bloodhound. So when there's nothing else for the dog to do, Basset Hounds love to sleep. And overly considered to a lot of other dogs too, these dogs are not tremendously destructive when they're left alone. Now one thing you do have to think about with the Basset Hound is extra care has to be taken whenever they're around swimming pools, because the majority of their weight is in the front of their body, and they have very short legs. So if they were to have to swim, they can only swim for very short distances, and they have a lot of problems doing so. So if you do have a pool and you do have a Basset Hound, make sure you provide a life preserver for him at all times and keep him in it. Now these dogs do turn on to food, but not necessarily to exercise, and the best home for these kind of dogs, for the Basset Hound, is to keep them indoors with your family, but giving them daily exercise outside. Now you don't want to make sure that you have the dog do a lot of jumping. They have little short legs, and a very long back, so you don't want a lot of jumping involved in their exercise. But if you take them on walks, daily walks, this is recommended highly for the breed. Now, although any color is acceptable, or any hound color is acceptable by the breed standard, basically Basset Hounds are generally a tricolored dog, which means they might have black, red, or white, or whatever in different patterns. Maybe even a lemon. They also have a very long, droopy ears, and they have very thick, broad, powerful necks, and they have a lot of loose skin around their head. Now, whenever they look downward or whatever, all this skin around their head will form wrinkles. Now, they have very, very long tails, which taper, and sometimes they might have a little bit of a curve to them. And a lot of owners prefer that these tails are tipped and white, which makes it a little bit easier for them to see when they're out hunting with the dogs, especially if they're in bushes or in weeds. Now, this dog breed is also known for its hanging skin, like I said before, especially around the face, which can make it look very, very sad. Excuse me. And now the dewlip, which is seen as the loose elastic skin around the neck or whatever, and these long trailing ears, and all the extra loose flesh around their mouth and their faces and whatever, all of these things are not just to make them cute, but all these things do have a meaning, and they have a reason, and that's because all of these things alone, and a lot of that wet mouth, that drooly mouth that they have, all these things will help them when they're trailing animals or trailing whatever the prey is, because it helps trap the scent and helps move all the scent, especially when they're heads down into that nose, which helps them to track. So if just by looking at this dog, you can tell this dog is it's a large dog. It just has really, really short legs. So if you're interested in learning out more information about the Basset Hound, or any AKC recognized dog breed for that matter, please come by and visit us anytime at pedigreedpups.com.